are being awaited. Sultan of Sokoto announces the sighting of the new moon, signaling the commencement of the Muslims' Ramadan fast. The Federal Executive Council SAT and staff of the NDLEA are smiling following the outcome of the high-level meeting, just as President Buhari wades into the tussle of the Obalende praying ground in Lagos. Meeting the SDGs target in focus as Nigeria joins in the commemoration of this year's World Water Day. We have interesting special stories on health. Join us also on other reports on various aspects of life that you are sure to connect with one way or the other. And as Muslim faithful begins the Ramadan fast, correspondent shines the spotlight on the significance of the holy month of Ramadan. And we also have business and sports. This is just the tip of the iceberg. As you know, the taste of the pudding is in the eating. I am Fatima Marbuba, and this is News Extra. You're welcome. Well, the Federal Executive Council has approved over 5.1 billion naira for the construction of barracks accommodation for the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency in the nation's capital, Abuja. This is part of security measures towards protecting the personnel of the agency from adverse consequences in view of the serious threats associated with the drug war. Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Abubakar Malami, announced this while briefing journalists after the weekly meeting of the council, which was presided over by President Muhammadu Buhari. Well, we'll have that report in the course of the bulletin. Well, President Muhammadu Buhari has also promised to resolve the tussle over the ownership of Obalende Muslim prayer ground between the Lagos Muslim community, Jama'atul Muslimin, and security agencies. Already, a committee under the leadership of his Chief of Staff, Professor Ibrahim Gambari, has been set up to advise him on the processes and all that needs to be done towards ensuring justice to all parties involved. This was at a meeting with members of the Jama'atul Muslimin in the State House, from where Adamu Sambo reports.
The Lagos State Muslim community, under the auspices of Jama'atul Muslimin, was in the State House as a last resort, having unsuccessfully explored several avenues to get justice. Leader of the delegation, Alhaji Sikiru Alabi Makfor, informed the president that their ownership of the land dates back to 1931, when the Nigerian government made an absolute grant of 3.11 acres of the land in question to serve as a Muslim prayer ground at the new Hausa settlement Ikoyi Plains, now known as Obalende. This, he explained, was much earlier than the arrival in the area of their neighbors, the Dodan barracks, that came after the collapse of the First Republic. The group presented documents to show approval of the ownership of the land, signed by the late Sheikh Musa Yaradua, Chief of Staff, Supreme Headquarters under the Obasanjo military administration. They reported that in the last few years, officials of the Department of State Services at Dodan Barracks have been threatening to deny the Muslims access to the prayer ground, apparently based on their erroneous understanding that the land belongs to Dodan Barracks. President Buhari said justice and fairness are principles very dear to him, and he will hold on to them as long as he lives. As he puts it during the closed-door engagement, I have listened to the enlightening historical details you have presented. You will get justice as far as this is concerned. The president commended members of the group for adopting a peaceful approach to seeking justice without heating up the polity. The chief of staff, he promised, will get back to them in 2 weeks. Other members of the committee set up by the president are the ministers of defense, works and housing, the Chief of Army Staff, Director General, Department of State Services, and others recognized as stakeholders in the matter. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
In the meantime, President-elect Bola Ahmed Tinubu has left the country for Europe to rest and plan his transition program ahead of the May 29, 2023 inauguration. After the hectic campaign and election season, the President-elect left via the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Lagos, to take a break in Paris and London. preparatory to going to Saudi Arabia for Umrah al-Lesser Hajj and the Ramadan fasting that begins Thursday. In a statement, Tunde Rahman indicates that while away, the president-elect will also use the opportunity to plan his transition program. He is expected to be back in the country soon. Let's head to Kano now, where the leadership of the All Progressives Congress, APC, and hundreds of its supporters in Kano have staged a peaceful procession to the state headquarters of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, to register their disagreement with the result of the just concluded governorship election in the state. Mohammed Ibrahim reports on the peaceful conduct of the protest.
The aggrieved members and supporters of the APC in the state were led by the state chairman of the party, Abdullahi Abbas, on a peaceful protest contesting the outcome of the governorship election in the state. While submitting their protest letter to the representative of the Independent National Electoral Commission, the party's legal advisor insisted that the election should be declared inconclusive.
Even from their report, there was 264,000 voters that were cancelled, and for this reason it is glaringly clear that the margin of win is just 122, and with this it is apparent that there is need for that election to be declared inconclusive, because the margin of win, if the election is conducted in all these local government where the election was cancelled, the margin of win will certainly change.
And honor to present this petition on behalf of team supporters of APC.
The party called on its members to remain calm and await further development. In Kano, Muhammad Ibrahim, NTA News.
While in Umuahia, the announcement of Abia state governorship election results was halted owing to some alleged irregularities in Obingwa local government area. With that resolve, INEC has declared Dr. Alex Oti of the Labour Party winner of the election.
Chairman NLP 175467 that Oti Alex, Chairman of Labour Party, having certified requirements of the law, is hereby declared the winner of the senatorial election.
Anytime from now, the newly constructed presidential wing of the State House Clinic will be inaugurated by President Muhammadu Buhari. Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Bas Mustafa, who expressed satisfaction after the inspection of the project ahead of the inauguration, says the medical facility will cater for serving and former presidents and top government officials. State House correspondent Gideon Ifade reports that the president has also given the approval for the State House Clinic to be renamed State House Medical Center.
This is the Presidential Wing State House Medical Center, and the construction of this beautiful edifice began in less than 2 years ago, and today what we're having is the people putting finishing touches to it, getting it ready for the president himself, Muhammadu Buhari, to inaugurate. The presidential wing of the State House Clinic within the presidential villa was conceived in 2012. It was in 2020 that the geotechnical survey and site appraisal was carried out, while the groundbreaking happened in November 2021. At this time, the key players at the project, Secretary to Government of the Federation, Bas Mustafa, Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning, Zainab Ahmed, and the Minister of State for Budget and National Planning, Clem Agba, are led on inspection of the project by Permanent Secretary of the State House, Tijani Umar. Facilities in the medical center include 2-number executive suites, 2-number VIP suites, 2-number dedicated observation rooms, 3-bed intensive care unit, 2-number isolation suites, and 2-number operating rooms for regular procedures and specialized procedures.
Great joy I'm seeing this standing today. So this money is well spent, and it will be for the good and betterment of our country.
Really extremely delighted and pleased about what I've seen today. We have supported this process in terms of making sure that the funding is provided on time. This is a project that has been delivered dead on time and on budget, so there has been no overrun. And the facilities here are world class. We're looking forward to the commissioning very soon and to putting this facility to full use. Everything that is here is what you can see anywhere you go in the world.
Putting, everything that needs to be put in place, including that the instrument and the equipment are being calibrated and tested, and then there's the training of personnel that is going on here. It's absolutely important that it's hands-on, and that when the facility is commissioned by Mr. President, it is not going to stop working.
And this is, again, another commitment of the administration towards putting in place world-class facilities that the nation could be proud of. In the State House, it's Jide Onifade, NTA News.
So legislative matters now. Senate has confirmed the appointment of Justice Stanley Adekunle Lawal as substantive president of the Customary Court of Appeal of the Federal Capital Territory. National Assembly correspondent Ignatius Nkwo reports that Justice Adekunle has been on acting capacity since October 2022.
The 8th of February 2023, Senate received presidential request for the confirmation of Justice Stanley Adekunle Lawal as president of the Customary Court of Appeal of the Federal Capital Territory. 22 days after, the Senate Committee on Judiciary, Human Rights and Legal Matters has screened the nominee and recommended his confirmation.
On the confirmation of the nomination of Honorable Justice Stanley Adekunle Lawal for appointment as the substantive president of the Customary Court of Appeal of the Federal Capital Territory.
Will the Senate confirm the nomination of Honorable Justice Stanley Adekunle Lawal for appointment as the substantive president of the Customary Court of Appeal of the Federal Capital Territory? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
Antonio Juku was also confirmed for reappointment as the Executive Secretary of the National Human Rights Commission. Senate passed the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency Act Amendment Bill, while the Nigeria College of Taxation and Fiscal Studies Establishment Bill, sponsored by Senator Sabi Abdullahi, and the bill by Senator Sani Musa on the Nigerian Content in Program Contract, Science, Engineering, Technology and Innovation, passed second reading.
Capacity development is central to effective tax administration.
Technology and innovation for the promotion of technological innovations needed to drive national competitiveness, productivity and economic activities.
This bill will assist in the import and substitution strategy of the federal government.
Senator Gabriel Suswam drew the attention of the Senate to the attacks on communities in Kwande local government area of Benue State as he called for reinforcement of security operatives in the area. Chairman, Senate Committee on Appropriations, Senator Jibrin Barau, has said competence and provisions of the Senate standing orders should guide the election of the President of the Senate. He was speaking when he briefed Senate correspondents on the election of the President of the 10th Senate.
It is the tradition all over the world. So it's there in our rules. It's there in our rules that, and this rule is a product of the Constitution. Section 60 gives the latitude to the National Assembly to create means of regulating its procedure.
Senator Barau is optimistic that the 10th Senate will build on the achievements of the 9th Assembly. Senate has adjourned plenary to 28th of March 2023. From the National Assembly, Ignatius Nkwo, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the House of Representatives has considered and approved a legislation with provisions to reform the administration and management of customs and excise in Nigeria. National Assembly correspondent Lami Ali reports that the bill seeks to, among others, make the appointment of only career personnel of the service as Controller General of the Nigeria Customs.
The changes are in relation to funding, appointments and recruitments in the service.
Whoever is going to be the Controller General of Customs, it's going to come within the service. That is, the President shall appoint a career officer not below the rank of Assistant Controller General of Customs. Now, the funding is going to come out from this bill. They will be taking their funding from 4% FOB, freight on board.
An overriding benefit of the reform is improving the use of technology to increase revenue generation. This bill had earlier been forwarded to the President for assent, but was returned due to some observations in some of the clauses, which were amended and approved at today's sitting.
The corrections are just reduced to the areas of concern. That's why we are having this document.
Also, the House Committee on National Security and Intelligence submitted the reports of the Conference Committee on a bill to establish the National Center for the Coordination and Control of Proliferation of Small Arms and Light Weapons following its harmonization with the Senate. House members passed for second reading a bill forwarded from the Senate for concurrence, which seeks the establishment of National Food Safety Council and National Food Safety Management Committee,
with the objective of ensuring that food and food safety risks are effectively managed.
The bill has been forwarded to a committee of the whole for further legislative action. From the National Assembly, Lami Ali, NTA News.
Well, thank you so much, Lami. Now, recall that News Extra carried an NTA investigative report in November, which uncovered racketeering in Nigeria's passport administration, prompting the Nigerian Immigration Service to look inwards. 4 months on, what is the state of play? Victor Azu returns with an update.
This plight attracted my attention in November. For more than 1 year, she was deceived by some dishonest immigration officers and made to pay multiple times for a slight correction of data and renewal of her passport. NTA's report also highlighted the experience of other Nigerians. Like Titi, some were extorted, yet couldn't get their passports 6 months post-capturing. Touting seemed to be the order of the day in some passport offices, while the service appeared increasingly opaque.
We regret the activities of the bad eggs.
Our report prompted the Nigerian Immigration Service to begin a process of internal cleansing. This personnel and the passport applicant were paraded before the media for giving and receiving bribes. More than 30 others have since been sanctioned.
The Controller General has been trying in his own way to ensure that those who are found culpable of trying to sabotage the system, they pass through orderly room trials, they pass through disciplinary committees, and of course you have heard that we dismissed some people in the last few months.
The service has also made efforts to fast-track passport processing. Both Titi and Ezekiel, featured in that expose, have since received their passports. Now the Nigerian Immigration Service says there are still more than 50,000 uncollected passports after production.
Most people use third parties, they use agents to complete these applications, and that gives us a problem, a huge problem. Most of the uncollected passports, we can't reach their owners because their application details are not correct.
Engagement with Nigerians on the social media has also improved, earning the Nigerian Immigration Service some rave reviews. Tolu Obunlesi started the thread by tweeting, "Recently helped a family member book an online appointment on Nigeria Immigration website for passport renewal. It was seamless." Noah Salami added his voice, tweeting, "I just got my international passport today. The online system is becoming more and more swift. Kudos to the NIS."
If people are serious in their work, they're doing their best. They are making sure. They are even respecting the elderly and even the minors.
Well, I had experience with my family this morning. As we're here, seeing me with the baby, officers come to ask, "How are you doing? Are you being attended to?" That, for me, is a great customer service. We paid just the amount as it is online for the number of pages we are applying for.
but there are some others who report on complementary experiences. Oyetunde Olayinka tweets, "My own capturing date was 12th of December 2022. Up till now, my passport hasn't been produced." Adekunle St. Matthews also tweets, "The online experience was smooth. I did mine last year in May, but after capturing, the collection is a major problem. More so, at the Alausa passport office, applicants are separated, online and offline applicants. More attention was given to the offline applicants." The last time I was here, I wasn't allowed anywhere near this passport office. But this time, I am accorded a guided tour of the entire facility, from capture to collection. It says something about efforts to shift from opacity to transparency and being open to public scrutiny. In Abuja, Victor Azu, NTA News.
Interesting one there, Victor, I must say. Well, it's time for our first break on News Extra. Please stay with us. You're welcome back. The Sultan of Sokoto, Mohammed Saad Abubakar III, has announced the sighting of the new crescent of Ramadan. The Sultan, in a broadcast at his palace, said that reports from different parts of the country confirmed that the crescent of Ramadan was sighted, bringing to an end the month of Shawwal. Consequently, upon this, Muslims in Nigeria are to commence the 1444 after Hijrah fasting of Ramadan tomorrow, Thursday, 23rd of March, 2023. Now, the ushering of the holy month of Ramadan in observance of a 29 or 30 days fast as an important pillar of the Islamic faith is spiritually greeted with ecstasy, as enjoined by the practice of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. Religious correspondent Abdullahi Ajia takes us through some of the salient requirements expected and adherents.
In the consensus and explanations of Islamic scholars, the glorious Quran and Hadith of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, are sufficient on the obligation of the holy month of Ramadan, which they say entails the deliberate abstinence from sexual desires, eating and drinking from dawn to sunset, with the intention to worship Allah, who has promised a special reward for those who fervently fast in the first, second, and last 10 days of the month.
Imam Al-Qurtubi is saying Ramadan is a period of burning sin with righteous deeds. It is a time, a period of submission, devotion, tireless effort to see how you can seek the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in all the endeavors, in various aspects of ibadat. It's a school of increasing taqwa.
Ramadan is the 9th month of the Islamic lunar calendar, with a spiritual package and a turning point for mankind, who is expected to maximize the enormous bounties, mercy and favors of Allah.
And it helps those are in addiction to overcome addiction. Those are in drugs, those are taking smoking. All this one, Ramadan can help. It helps to sharpen somebody's character by being patient. It has also benefit of making somebody to be organized.
Leaders of faith say the holy month of Ramadan also guarantees spiritual elevation in status and an ideal social security of love, true brotherhood, and unity of purpose, which reflect the true teachings of the Islamic religion, with much encouragement for charity and increased acts of worship. Nigerian Muslims will be observing this year's Ramadan with high expectations for improved social, economic, and security well-being, considering the present circumstances of naira cash scarcity in the country, as well as better governance with new sets of newly elected leaders coming on board. However, clerics say this Ramadan should provide an opportunity for intense prayer for country and individual leaders. In Abuja, Abdullahi Ajia, NTA News.
Thank you so much, Ajay, for that. Now joining me live in the studio is Professor Ishaq Oloyede. He is the Secretary General, Nigeria Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs. You're welcome, Professor, on News Extra.
Thank you very much.
Okay, now, the new moon of Ramadan has been cited, which signals, of course, the commencement of the Muslim fast. What would you be telling Nigerians at this period when peace and unity of the nation is really, really critical?
Yes, thank you very much. Let me, on behalf of His Eminence, the President General of the Nigerian Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs and the Sultan of Sokoto, congratulate all Muslims all over the world on the commencement of the month of Ramadan. Ramadan, as we all know, as Almighty Allah has told us clearly in the Quran, when Almighty Allah says that Ramadan is prescribed for you, as it has been prescribed for those before you, so that you might learn God consciousness. When we talk about peace, it's not just in Nigeria. All Muslims are supposed to be advocates of peace, to work for peace, and particularly in Nigeria. One could not be said to be a Muslim if the person believes that because some people are trying to preach hatred, preach what is against love, and therefore we must respond with that. Muslims should be the promoters of peace, because our religion, apart from the fact that it's Islam, the root of Islam itself is not only submission but peace. When Muslims meet one another, they say, peace be unto you, salamu alaikum. So Almighty Allah wants us to fast as part of the training for piety, and therefore peace is one of the essential features of a society, and therefore all Muslims within and outside Ramadan, irrespective of the provocation, irrespective of your perception, irrespective of other things that you might consider being against you, you must live above such low level and preach and practice and be involved in the promotion of peace. I urge all Nigerian Muslims and Muslims in Nigeria to continue to be promoters of peace, because our religion is, and that's why we say, Allahumma anta salam wa minka salam wa ilayka yarji'u salam. You, Allah, you are source of peace, and peace is from you, and we will continue to promote the peace for which Islam is known.
Okay. Well, you've talked about peace a whole lot, which has to do also with our attitude. So talking about attitude towards fellow Muslims and non-Muslims, what would you have to say about that? It's a period of course, of purity. So how would you advise Nigerians or Muslims all over the world, to behave to other people?
You see, in Islam, the Islam itself is divided into two different parts of worship. One worship is the canonical worship. Another worship is to do good to others. How we interact with the others. What is our relationship with others? How good is our relationship with others? And because the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam had told us that none of you is a believer until he loves for others what he loves for himself. And one of the features, one of the essential features of Ramadan, one of the essential features of Islam is charity, is to be considerate to others, is to extend the love. Whatever little that you have, extend it to others, particularly in the month of Ramadan. It's a month where many people choose to offer their zakat, which is an obligatory duty. I'm not saying that it is only in Ramadan. It depends on when you do. But many people offer their Ramadan, their zakat during Ramadan. Not only this, in this month, we are encouraged to feed others. We are encouraged to also, at the end of the month, also give out food to some other people who are less privileged in the society. So my own call to all of us is, let us as Muslims and even as non-Muslims, because what is good is good. You do not say because somebody is a non-Muslim and therefore you will not treat him well, or somebody is a Muslim, that's the only person. All human beings, we are all creatures of God, and we are encouraged to contribute, to make contribution to the development of humanity. So we urge all Muslims to continue to be their brothers' keepers and their sisters' keepers, if I might say so, so that we continue to live in an harmonious, peaceful society that Islam expects of us.
Thank you so much, Professor, for such words. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts and telling us what we really need to do at this period and also beyond. Thank you so much. That was Professor Ishaq Oloyede talking about Ramadan and how we should behave. Well, we have been told that we need to join our INEC Coalition Center there in Enugu because the governorship results is about to be declared. So let's join Enugu.
And Kano East local governments. So we were authorized to come back to conclude the collation and declaration of the results in Enugu State. And that is why we're here. Once again, I must thank you for your patience. We received some petitions, particularly against Nsukka and Kano East local governments on Monday, and these things were taken to Abuja for review and resolution. The petition against Nsukka was overruled by the Commission. And that means that whatever anybody held against Nsukka's election of votes was not upheld by the Commission. Then the petition against Kano East was sustained by the Commission. To that effect, we had a total vote of 30,350 in Kano as at Monday, as presented to us. But after the review, the total vote came to 16,956 from 30,350 to 16,956 for People's Democratic Party. And for Labour Party, the votes we had on Monday was 1,855. After the review, the votes came to 1,864, just about 9 votes difference. That is a summary of what happened at Abuja. And based on the fact that there was this review, that the review or the petition against this Kano East was sustained, I would like to now re-invite the electoral officer and the officer that collected the Kano East local government elections to come and represent his figure so that we can proceed. I think it's premature.
Thank you very much obliged, sir. Thank you very much for the indulgence. With due respect, sir, I really appreciate your patience and the patience of the Commission that you have had in this matter. I am glad that the Commission has reviewed the petitions and found out that the case against Nsukka was not made out. And in the case of Kano East, I'm equally glad to hear that the Commission has found out that, yes, that the case was made out. So our case in Kano East complained about non-use of beavers.
Well, we have established what is happening there at the Enugu Coalition Center. We would continue with the news when they're about to announce the results. We promise you we're going to go back there so that you get it live. Now, to our earlier report, the Federal Executive Council has approved over 5.1 billion naira for the construction of barracks, accommodation for the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency in the nation's capital, Abuja. This is part of security measures towards protecting the personnel of the agency from adverse consequences in view of the serious threats associated with the drug war. Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Abubakar Malami, announced this while briefing journalists after the weekly meeting of the council presided over by President Muhammadu Buhari. State House correspondent Adam Musambo reports.
The meeting presided over by President Muhammadu Buhari noted with delight the renewed and sustained onslaught against drugs cartel and barons across Nigeria since the appointment of Muhammad Buwa Marwa as chairman and chief executive officer of the NDLEA in January 2021. Records show that significant achievements have been recorded in eliminating the growing processing, manufacturing, selling, exporting, and trafficking of hard drugs in the country.
About 18,940 arrests were effected by the NDLEA, and indeed, drugs, the estimated value of which is over 40 billion naira, were confiscated. Again, about 2,904 convictions were recorded.
With these successes, however, there has been unprecedented threats and attacks on personnel of the agency, and this informed the approval for the construction of barracks in Abuja as part of measures towards enhancing their security as well as boosting their morale.
Accordingly, 2 contracts were awarded for the construction of 92 plots for narcotics superintendent and narcotic assistants at the cost of 2,267,785,450 naira 83 kobo. And the second contract, 100 plots. So the council memo was taken, and it was accordingly approved by the council.
Transportation Minister Muazu Jaji Sambo, on his part, secured approval on behalf of the Nigerian Ports Authority for the construction and supply of 4 customized fire service search and rescue vans for Rivers Port, Port Harcourt, Lagos Port Complex, Tinkan Island Port and Marina headquarters of the authority in Lagos at 510.9 million naira.
The second memorandum sought Council consideration and approval for the award of contract for the procurement of rolling stock, operation and maintenance equipment for the Kano Maradi standard gauge rail line that is currently under construction. The contract was awarded in the sum of $984,722,302.05.
Also approved by the Council is the revised 2022 National Agricultural Seed Policy aimed at sustaining efforts at achieving food sufficiency and security for the country.
For seeds, what you plant is what you reap. With the current continuous development in technology, seeds are always being upgraded, standardized, fortified with several vitamins. So this revision seeks to conform with global best practice in yield to achieve food security. Unless you have good yielding seeds, you will not be able to achieve the food security you want. And Nigeria, with 200 million people plus and counting, we need to make sure we're on top of our game in terms of the quality of seeds of any kind of produce in this country.
The minister used the opportunity to announce that despite the Russia-Ukraine conflict, the two European nations are in talks with Nigeria on critical areas of need. Ukraine, he said, is sending 25,000 metric tons of wheat to the country and wants to open a hub for business purpose across Africa, while the deal with Russia had to do with potash, a critical role.
Nigeria is still clearly celebrating women in this month of March and their contributions towards advancing global growth and development. This time around, the Development Bank of Nigeria is recognizing ongoing efforts by women in championing the advancement of transformative technology and digital education. Moplan Dakok reports that the celebration is reflective of the theme, Digital Innovation and Technology for Gender Equality.
At DBN, we believe that innovation is key to driving gender equality.
The Development Bank of Nigeria, in line with its mandate of alleviating the financing constraints faced by micro, small and medium enterprises in Nigeria, brought together the women who came in their numbers for the various talks and discussions centered on addressing major financing challenges faced by female entrepreneurs.
We recognize and celebrate the unique contributions that women bring to the technology space, and we are committed to creating a workplace where women can thrive and succeed.
Various speakers acknowledged the fact that there is still work to be done to close the gender disparity gap and equip women with requisite skills to develop innovative solutions to the challenges they face.
Bringing together women into technology results in more creative solutions and has greater potential for innovations that meet women's needs.
If you don't ask, you do not get. So for the ladies in the room, I need you to be bold. I need you to be authentic leaders. If you see something that you want, go for it. Don't let anybody stop you.
These women are looking forward to being part of the changing narrative of gender inclusivity and women empowerment in Nigeria.
Here we have learned how a woman was able to struggle, and she has come up with something very, very tangible. And for us who are still struggling, I'm still saying that there is hope.
As a woman, we have opportunity out there. We should learn to go out, we should connect, we should be persistent.
The day was also spent exploring the impact of the digital gender gap through the use of drama and entertainment. In Abuja, Moplan Dakok, NTA News.
In another story, Lagos State government is intensifying construction works to ensure that substantial part of the Red Line Rail project is completed by the second quarter of the year. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu stated this after inspecting the level of work done at the Yaba and Oyinbo train stations in Lagos, and Musa Toliot has that.
The inspection of the train stations at Yaba and Onyibo underscores the need to demonstrate commitment towards the completion of the Red Rail Line project in line with the theme's agenda for actualization of multimodal transport system in the state. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu also inspected the vehicle overpasses at the train level crossings in the axis to ascertain what is required for the completion of the projects.
Before the end of our first term, we'll probably just be doing a lot of testing, signalization and all of it, because this rail track will also be working with the Nigerian Railway Corporation, which is the train that will from Lagos, from Ebute here, all the way to Ibadan. So we need to be able to harmonize a lot of signalization. All of these bridges are very, very important because of what we saw, the unfortunate, train bus accident that we saw about 2.5 weeks ago.
Sanwo-Olu took time to set the record straight on the date set for the Blue Line rail system to commence full commercial operation.
It's a different type of living, transportation experience, and you just don't want to start it, like that. So everywhere in the world, it takes a while for you to do a lot of what we call dry run, test run for people, for citizens to get used to before, you open it up, because you cannot afford to make any mistake. You cannot afford to get anything wrong.
He, however, reiterated his commitment to creating a level playing field for residents to thrive regardless of their ethnic or religious affiliations across the state. In Lagos, Musa Toliat, NTA News.
GAC Motors is reaffirming its commitment to the development of the automobile industry in Nigeria and a pledge to strengthen its existing partnership in sports and the creative industry. Chairman GAC Motors, Diana Chen, reaffirmed this at the inauguration of the second G-Style showroom and the pre-sale of the GS8 SUV in Abuja. Olajide Bello reports.
Situated in the heart of the nation's capital city, Abuja, the second GAC G-Style Monumental showroom showcases the flourishing and vibrant African contemporary creative arts masterpiece and houses distinctive aesthetic versions of GAC automobiles. With a blooming and evergreen natural eco-friendly environment, the G-Style showroom is a platform to showcase and harness the vast ingenuity embedded in the creative industry.
GAC Motors are here ready to work with the different level of government, whether federal government or state government, to rebuild the capability of the youth.
For GAC Motors, we introduce a lot of products such as the new GS8 and the GS4 and GS3 and GA4.
They used to support us with some financial support that we do manage our national teams, and also they used to support us with some vehicles that we use.
Meet the new kid on the block, the GS8 SUV, which features various high-tech and advanced driving assistance technology for enhanced comfort and safe driving experience.
GS8 is a full luxury SUV. You have a 540-degree camera, that's a 6-camera system in the car. This vehicle is also one of the best interior of SUV vehicles around the world today. You also have the self-parking mode. That means the car can park by itself.
GAC is also partnering financial institutions in Nigeria to create avenues for installment purchase of vehicles in an affordable manner, with the aim of erasing the mentality of importing and purchasing fairly used vehicles. Making its grand entry into the Nigerian automobile market in 2014, GAC Motors has recorded milestones through initiation of state-of-the-art automobile assembly facility in Lagos, Nigeria, integrated industrial and domestic home appliances manufacturing facility, as well as facilitated the operation of the first lag ride taxi project, a joint partnership initiative with Lagos State government to bridge the unemployment gap. Olajide Bello, NTA News.
Beautiful cars there. Now, the saying water is life echoes world over on this day, March 22nd, as the global community observes 2023 World Water Day. And actors in Nigeria's water sector have been speaking on better synergy towards achieving the Sustainable Development Goal 6, which seeks water and sanitation for all by 2030. Olusha Adiagbo reports on the commemoration of the World Water Day in the FCT.
The World Water Day is dedicated to raising awareness about water-related issues such as water pollution, water scarcity, insufficient water supply, and poor sanitation. Peter Amanoka, a transporter in the central area in Abuja, is one of many still experiencing water stress.
I pay 500 naira to buy a truck of water every day, and I spend no less than 3,000 naira every week to buy water.
This road work is road partners driving water, sanitation, and hygiene wash programs in Nigeria are using to engage citizens on benefits of living and hygienic life. The report of the 2021 annual wash norm survey that shows our schools in Nigeria are still far from meeting the SDG's 2030 wash target, with only 8% of schools having female toilets with compartments for menstrual hygiene management.
The objective of providing sanitation facility to students in this school is being achieved today. With the commissioning of this facility, I'm convinced that sanitation and personal hygiene will be improved upon.
With this facility, there will be a mini reduction in school dropout, and then it will also improve classroom turnout and also improvement in the quality of education.
The launch of the World Water Report 2023, a document detailing imminent risks of a global water crisis, also highlighted the commemoration of the day in Nigeria.
The launch of the water report is an eye-opener to Nigerian government and also the stakeholders in the Nigerian community to invest more in providing adequate water supply for agriculture and human consumption.
Water is life, because you can't do without water. Well, there's hope for Nigeria.
2023 World Water Day is themed Accelerating Change to Solve the Water and Sanitation Crisis. In Abuja, Olusha Adiagbo, NTA News.
Still on World Water Day, United Nations Water Conference, formerly known as the 2023 Conference for the Midterm Comprehensive Review of Implementation of the UN Decade for Action on Water and Sanitation 2018 to 2028 has opened in New York. The aim is to raise awareness of the global water crisis and decide on concerted action to achieve the internationally agreed water-related goals and targets contained in the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. On Ngifa Face reports.
The world faces three devastating water crises. Too much water causing flooding, too little water causing drought, and too dirty water causing pollution. The United Nations see water as a deal maker for the Sustainable Development Goals and for the health and prosperity of people and planet. But progress on water-related goals and targets remains alarmingly off track, jeopardizing the entire Sustainable Development Agenda.
May we all be united by water action.
The UN 2023 Water Conference is expected to result in a bold water action agenda that gives the world's lifeblood the commitment it deserves.
We need to devise a common financial culture that is water, climate, and biodiversity smart. Financing that benefits everybody, from the indigenous and marginalized to the lucky ones who were born to wealthy parents. We urgently need to stop wasting water.
For the United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres to avert incremental water catastrophe, the world must close water management gaps, massively invest in water and sanitation, focus on resilience, and address climate change for a sustainable water future.
This is more than a conference on water. It is a conference on today's world, seen from the perspective of its most important resource. from water as a key driver across economies and policy making, to the recognition of water and sanitation as a human right, from the integration of water and climate policies to an innovative approach in the use of water in food production, now is the moment for game-changing commitments to bring the water action agenda to life.
Co-hosted by the governments of Tajikistan and the Netherlands, the conference features plenary meetings, multi-stakeholder interactive dialogues, and high-level special and side events organized to ramp water-positive action globally. Omengiye Fineface, NTA News.
Now, 3,834,244 cyber attacks emanating from within and outside the country were blocked before the pre- and post-governorship and state houses of assembly elections. In a statement, the Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, Professor Issa Ibrahim Ali Pantami, noted that the Ministerial Committee on Protection of Nigerian Cyberspace and ICT Infrastructure recorded 1,046,899 hacking attempts on the 17th of March, 1,481,847 the next day, and 977,783 on Monday, the 20th of March. The figures, he noted, are lower than what was experienced during the presidential and National Assembly elections, pointing out that recommendations and measures taken to fortify cyber defense mechanism helped in blocking the attacks. Time for another breather. We'll be right back. Please stay. Well, it's time for us to join our business desk, and we have Musa Abakar with business news.
Thank you. The Federal Account Allocation Committee, FAC, has shared a total sum of 722.677 billion naira February 2023 Federation account revenue to the federal government, states, and local government councils. The communique confirmed that from the total distributable revenue of 722.677 billion naira, the federal government received 269.063 billion naira. The state governments received 236.464 billion naira, and the local government councils received 173.936 billion naira. A total sum of 43.214 billion naira was shared to the relevant states as 13% derivation revenue. This was contained in a communique issued at the end of the Federation Account Allocation Committee meeting for March 2023. The 722.677 billion naira total distributable revenue comprised distributable statutory revenue of 366.8 billion naira, distributable value-added tax revenue of 224.232 billion naira, electronic money transfer levy of 11.645 billion naira, and 120 billion naira augmentation from forex equalization account. The balance in the excess crude account was $473,754.57 thousand. The central bank says the number of e-wallet created has reached 13 million, with transaction value of almost 22 billion naira, indicating a 68% increase since the beginning of this year. CBN Governor Godwin Emefiele said over 10 billion naira of the e-naira have been minted and 3.429 billion naira is in circulation.
I can only say that the adoption rate continues to increase and improve, and everything is being done to continue to make sure that this continues to go up. But one notable example of areas where the e-naira has been adopted, and I think we must thank them, is the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs and Disaster Management and Social Development, which has expressed keen interest in our e-naira product. For instance, as on March the 20th, which was just 2 days ago, approximately 4 million wallets were created, especially for social intervention payments, representing about 30% of the total wallets created so far. These wallets were created in response to a request from the ministry as part of plans for the next tranche of the conditional cash transfer program.
Market closed midweek trade in positive territory. The all-share index increased to 54,936.11 basis points as equity capitalization advanced to 29.9 trillion naira. A total turnover of 134 million securities valued at 1.3 billion naira were traded in 2,479 deals. Now that's a quick look at business. Then News Extra continues with Fatima.
Well, thank you so much, Musa, for that. Now, since the introduction of the redesigned Naira notes and the target of actualizing a better cashless policy, many Nigerians have resorted to electronic means of transaction, but not without its challenges. Business correspondent Bosede Abel tells us more about this.
People are not seen at many of the ATM spots within the metropolis because most of the machines are not dispensing cash. Also, because of the cash scarcity, most people are now relying on bank transfers, either on their mobile app, USSD codes, or through the POS. But then, there seems to be an issue.
I went to go and transfer to somebody, and the person tell me that he didn't see the money. I did not see the money inside. It has been removed, and yet the person did not see the money.
They beat my money 3 times. Even now, as I tell you, I didn't see anything. They never returned the money, and I come here, I fill form. Up to now, I didn't see anything.
When they buy the market, they will say they don't transfer the money. Then if I go house, I'll check this. I didn't see the money. And when I call them, they will not answer me.
You go to a place, you want to get a particular stuff. After you're even satisfied, I even have this amount of money in my own account. But the payment is actually the issue. Because the transfers are not even going.
We should make our transfer at ease. Say I want to try and do transfer. Now if I try it in front of you, to bring error.
We found out that a lot of these people with failed transactions go back to the banking hall to get these issues addressed and are told to fill some bank forms and return in 7 or 14 working days, and sometimes even more. Many customers complain that even after then, most of these issues remain unresolved. So we sought to find the reason.
Now, in one or two banks, I know that you can just go to your app and actually report a failed transaction and then to be resolved. But the period is also too long. When you say 7 days, 21 days, are they paying interest on that money? There's a cost to money. Even the POS, they can phase out all these POSs that give people failed transactions. There are modern POSs that can tell you what cards are working, what bank has network and all that. They can shorten the period of time and sanction people that don't refund.
I must apologize, yes, online channels failed. But no doubt it was a result of the deluge of volumes of online transactions that hit the banking industry. And I think it's currently being resolved, and we are following up on daily basis. Our payment system management department follows up on a consistent and daily basis with the bank to ensure that where there are downtime, they are resolved as quickly as possible so as to make sure transactions go smoothly.
Experts also say that financial institutions can develop partnership with existing establishments to leverage their technology in the creation of real value for their customers. In Abuja, Bosede Abel, NTA News.
So much, Bosede. Now it's time for us to link up with the Enugu Coalition Center for the announcement of the governorship election result. So let's watch.
0 PRP 850 SDP 65 YPP 397 ZLP 332 332. Total valid votes 358,463. 358,463. Rejected votes 9088. 9088. And total votes cast 367,551. 367,551. That's the collation for the 2023 governorship election in Enugu State. So I would like to thank all of you and want to plead with you who are sent here as agents of your parties to please come as I call your party to append your signature to the collation. Huh? No. After the collation, we have to sign this before declaration. Yeah. We have to sign it before declaration. Huh? We have to sign declaration before declaration. Before. No, they will sign this. It's not yet time for declaration. They have to sign this. Then we can now transmit it to this.
Please, on the directive from the returning officer, the political party agents are expected to come and sign the collected result. AA, are you here? AAC, please come and sign the document. AAC. ADC. ADC. Okay. ADP. ADP. After ADP, APC. APC. APC declined to sign. Okay. APGA, APGA. Are you here? APM. APP, are you here? BP, are you here? Thank you. LP. LP. LP declined. NNPP. NRM. After NRM, PDP. PDP. After PDP, PRP. PRP, are they here? SDP, are they here? The Chief Returning Officer, I think we are done with that. Eh? YPP, I'm sorry. YPP, please. Are they here? ZLP. We're done, sir.
Sorry, this is the last package I have to show you. I've not seen it before. It's intact. This is where we're going to enter the last bit of the data before we make any declaration. Thank you.
While INEC is, would I say, they're doing their thing there at Enugu Coalition Center, we'll have a message from the President. President Buhari sends best wishes to Muslims as they commence 30 days of Ramadan fast, urging them to use the season to project the best and finest virtues of Islam by personal conduct, and puts the best teachings of Islam, such as kindness and the love of humanity, into practice. The President describes the period as one for deep reflection and greater fear of Allah and avoidance of all evils that harm humanity. And with that Ramadan message from Mr. President, we conclude News Extra for tonight. Thank you so much for watching. I am Fatima Umar Buba.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It has been a long night and long days. I would like you to lend me your ears as we come to the point of declaration of this result. Once again, I want to thank all of you for your cooperation, and I wish everyone here well, especially the contestants and their representatives. I wish Enugu State well. In declaring this result, I, Professor Madu Ebibisi of Oiwe, hereby certify that I am the returning officer for the 2023 Enugu State governorship election held on the 18th day of March 2023. Number two, the election was contested. Number three, the candidates received the following votes. Ogbe Chukwunonso Daniel, AA, 330 votes. Obodo Raymond Kenechukwu, ML, AAC, 146 votes. Donatus Madubike Ozemena, ML, ADC, 1,160 votes. Omeje Nnamdi, ML, ADP, 382 votes. Nnaji Geoffrey Uchechukwu, ML, APC, 14,575 votes. Nweke Frank Nnemeka Jr., ML, APGA, 17,983 votes. Ike Kenneth Odo, ML, APM, 358 votes. Ani Afamefuna Samuel, ML, APP, 158 votes. Nnamani Obioma Nnaemeka, ML, BP, 319 votes. Edoga Chijoke Jonathan, ML, LP, 157,552 votes. 157,552 votes. Eze Kajetan, ML, NNPP, 2,107 votes. Mama Cyril Elochukwu, ML, NRM, 854 votes. Mba Peter Ndubisi, ML, PDP, 160,895 votes. Ago Christopher Ejike, ML, PRP, 850 votes. Nweze Pearl Ogochukwu, a female, SDP, 65 votes. Ede Ugochukwu Bethel, a male, YPP, 397 votes. Ugwoke Elvis Chinazam, male, Zell LP, 332 votes. Number 4, that Mba Peter Ndupisi of People's Democratic Party, PDP, having satisfied the requirements of the law, is hereby declared the winner and returned elected. I want to thank all of you for coming. Thank you.
Please remember to collect your own document. Please make sure you collect your own paper.
We are live. So we are live now.
It is him that will force
I feel very, very happy. My mood tells the story. For me, it's a triumph for democracy and a triumph for rule of law. I thank people of Enugu State for making a right choice in Barrister Dr. Peter Ndubisi. I thank PDP as a party, and I thank the leader of our great party, PDP in Enugu State, Right Honorable Dr. Ifeanyi Ubani. I thank the Enugu generally. And most importantly, I thank Almighty God for making this possible. Barrister Peter Mba's administration will improve on the gains of the current government. In the end, Enugu will be better for it.
What's your message to I didn't know what are you telling them? In the midst of
well, it was a tough battle. It has been fought. Every party put in her best. Ultimately, a winner has emerged. So the leader and the winner, I'm sure, will show magnanimity and humility. I also call on those who did not win to be very, very cooperative and be willing to close ranks with the incoming administration to move Enugu forward. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank Jimmy, this man. Susan, what are you doing? Just talk like this. Yes. Yeah, very
Very, very happy. This is well-deserved victory. It was a hard-fought battle, which you all know about. But at the end of the day, we have come out victorious to the glory of God. Thank you.